Okay, so let's unpack this. Today we're doing a deep dive into really an extraordinary corner of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, we're looking at William C. Deese's Star Wars, Dark Forces, Jedi Knight Book 3. It's quite a story.
It really is. And you might think you know Star Wars, but honestly, the source material, it just digs into intricate lore, unexpected twists, and the deeply personal side of things. The stakes feel different.
Absolutely. It's not just the big galactic war picture.
Exactly. So our mission today really is to explore how this specific story challenges maybe our standard ideas about heroism. It weaves together personal trauma, these like ancient cryptic prophecies.
And how they forge a new kind of Jedi path.
Yeah. What does it really mean to be a knight when, your path is so influenced by ghosts of the past?
We kick things off on this remote, pretty windswept planet called Ruusan.
Right, Ruusan.
And we meet this settler, Griff Grawley. He's world-weary, definitely seen better days. He's got this salvaged airspeeder.
Held together by incessant prayer. I love that detail.
Yeah. And it's that, plus the first real sign that the peace, such as it is, it's about to just shatter. Imperial ambition, ancient prophecy, it's all converging.
Okay, so let's start there with Griff. He's just trying to live this quiet life, right? Relying on that busted speeder and his little surveillance drone.
Fido.
Fine.
Yeah, a boomerang-shaped drone. Essential survival tools out there.
But he's got this heavy past hanging over him, this futile protest against the Empire.
Which cost him dearly. His daughter, Katie, was killed. His wife, Carol, carries these scars, physical and, emotional.
It's such a raw, human way to start. It really grounds the galactic conflict and, personal tragedy.
And it's precisely that background, that trauma, that fuels his reaction when he sees it.
Sees what?
He's using his electro binoculars, just scanning, and bam, an Imperial probe droid, PD-4786 specifically.
Ah, and his instinct isn't caution.
No, it's immediate, visceral. Destroy it. Warren Fort Nowhere, the only human settlement around. It's not just strategy. It's those old wounds flaring up. He has to act.
And act he does. It turns into this wild, improvised dogfight almost.
Totally improvised. His motto is basically, when in doubt, improvise. And he lives up to it here.
How so?
He actually sacrifices his own speeder, takes remote control, flies it right into the probe droid to destroy it. A desperate, but pretty ingenious move.
Wow. But that leaves him stranded, right? 50 kilometers from Fort Nowhere shows incredible desperation.
Exactly, which sets up this exhausting trek across the terrain to get to Fort Nowhere. It's this outpost, kind of rough, built by smugglers.
You'd think arriving with news of an Imperial droid would set off alarm bells.
You would. But when he finally stumbles into the smuggler's rest bar, trying to warn Mayor Devo and the patrons, they basically laugh at him.
Seriously? What?
Cynicism, mostly. Plus, they bring up some embarrassing drunken incident he had before with his weapon, old trustee.
Oh, come on. So they just dismiss him.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It really highlights how, personal history and just ingrained skepticism can completely blind people to an obvious, immediate danger.
Even with the fate of the planet potentially on the line.
Right. The only person who gives him any credibility is Marie, or Pino, the mayor's second-in-command.
What does she say?
She confirms that the planet's network, all 16 weather and surveillance satellites, they've all gone dark, silent.
Okay, that's chilling. That should have been enough.
You'd think, but it's largely ignored.
So while Griff is fighting just to be heard, the real power player behind this dark Jedi, Master Jerec, he's already moving pieces on the board.
Yes, and Jerec is. Well, he's not your typical Sith Lord figure. He's blind, for one thing.
Blind?
Yeah.
How does he operate as a dark Jedi then?
He perceives the Force incredibly deeply through his other senses. It's like his blindness enhances his Force connection. He has these unique rituals using touchstones that release scents or tastes.
Huh. That's different.
Yeah, and he even listens to this dark, moody music by a rebel composer. He's complex, ruthless, absolutely focused on power, but complex.
So what's his interest in Ruusan? Is it just Imperial expansion?
Well, his dark Jedi, Sariss, brings him an intelligence report. Ruusan has minerals, sure iron, copper, cesium, uranium, all that. Class 3 atmosphere, standard gravity.
Standard Imperial assessment stuff.
Right. But the key finding, the thing that grabs Jerec's attention, is these 7 ancient mines, thousands of years old.
Okay. What's special about them?
They've already been exploited, but not near the main mineral deposits. And crucially, there are no tailings, no waste rock you'd expect from mining.
Meaning?
Meaning whatever was taken wasn't rock or ore. It points to something non-material, something valuable hidden in this valley they mention. something beyond just resources.
Ah, okay. So Jerec realizes there's a different kind of prize here.
Exactly. Which explains his next move. Sariss wants to just hit Fort Nowhere immediately, standard Imperial doctrine.
But Jerec overrules her.
He does. He countermands the assault. Instead, he sends Sariss, along with 2 other Dark Jedi, Yun and Bok, just for reconnaissance first.
Why the delay? Why investigate this tiny settlement if he's after this ancient valley?
Because he needs to know what they know. Did the settlers stumble upon this valley? Did they loot anything? He needs the valley, and whatever's in it, completely untouched. It shows his foresight. He's playing a longer, deeper game than just conquest.
That makes sense. Calculated. So what happens when Sariss, Yun, and Bok arrive at Fort Nowhere?
It's chilling. Sariss makes an example immediately, walks in, force chokes a settler named Lasco, just to show who's boss. Pure intimidation.
Brutal. What about the mayor, Devo?
Devo tries diplomacy, tries to negotiate, but Sariss just plays him. The book says she pumped him full of false assurances while simultaneously draining the politician of relevant information. Masterful, cold manipulation.
So she gets what Jerec needed to know, and then...
And then the hammer falls. The full Imperial assault begins. TIE fighters, assault shuttles, led by Sariss. Pino tries to coordinate a defense from an underground bunker, but their resources are just pathetic against the Empire.
It's a foregone conclusion, then.
Pretty much. And the end is grim. Sariss drags Mayor Devo out in public and executes him, mocking his belief in her false promises.
Wow. It really shows Jerec's method, doesn't it? Strategic planning mixed with absolute ruthlessness. Break their hope, then take what you want.
Precisely. It's terrifyingly effective.
Okay, so while Ruusan is falling under Jerec's shadow, what's happening with the Rebel Alliance? They can't be unaware of this level of Imperial activity.
No, but they've got their own problems. Their mobile HQ, the Dreadnought New Hope, with Leia Organa Solo and Mon Mothma on board, is actually under attack.
Where?
In orbit around a planet called Milagro. TIE bombers are hitting them hard. They're vulnerable, and there's this fear that maybe a probe droid or even a spy gave away their location.
High stakes. Who's leading the defense?
General Han Solo, of course. He's scrambling 3 squadrons, a mix of new X-Wings, older reconditioned ones, even some Y-Wings and a couple of B-Wings just cleared for duty.
Sounds like Han making do with what he's got.
And demanding that ironclad discipline he's known for. They need to find the Star Destroyer launching those TIEs. Fast.
Do they get help?
They do. Right on time, Luke Skywalker arrives in his X-Wing. And with him, Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors in the Moldy Crow.
Ah, our protagonists enter the wider conflict.
And they quickly spot the Imperial Star Destroyer, already damaged, which is crucial intel for Han.
So what's the plan? How do they take on a Star Destroyer?
Kyle comes up with something. Well, typically Kyle. Quick thinking, high risk.
Let me guess, something unconventional.
You got it. He takes the Moldy Crow, with Luke flying wingman in his X-Wing, and they fly directly between the Star Destroyer and its TIE fighter escorts.
Whoa, why?
To force the Imperials into an impossible choice. Either shoot at the Moldy Crow and risk hitting their own capital ship, or hold their fire.
Brilliant. High-stakes gamble.
It pays off. It creates chaos and buys Han's squadrons the opening they desperately need to attack the destroyer directly.
What happens on the Destroyer's bridge during all this?
It's chaos there, too.
Yeah.
The Imperial captain, Purdy Trico, is apparently superstitious and completely loses it. He actually kills his own executive officer for supposed incompetence in the heat of battle.
Yikes. Command structure breaking down.
Totally. The destroyer is cut off, Han's forces are pounding it, and Trico's clearly unfit. Eventually, his own weapons officer has enough, takes him out, and surrenders the ship.
Wow. A mutiny within a mutiny, almost?
Kind of, yeah. But that battle, it really shows how smart tactics, adaptable strategy, that quick thinking from Kyle can actually overcome a massive technological disadvantage. It wasn't just firepower.
A crucial victory for the Alliance, then. But Kyle and Jan's mission isn't over. It's just shifting focus, right? Back to Ruusan and Jerec.
Exactly. While the fleet recovers, their next step is infiltration. And for that, they need someone specific.
Who do they recruit?
A prisoner on Milagro named Alfonso Obota, Unit 136. He's former special ops, chosen for his integrity despite being locked up.
Why was he imprisoned?
He led a mutiny, but did it to save his team from a suicidal order. His justification. Simply, it seemed like the right thing to do.
Huh. An unlikely hero. It speaks volumes about finding courage in unexpected places, even from someone the system labels a renegade.
It really does. And he proves invaluable for their infiltration plan.
Which is?
It's pretty clever. They use a captured Imperial transport, the High Hauler. They make it look damaged, Claim it's carrying a full load of proton torpedoes.
Which it isn't?
Nope. Just explosives, rigged for later perhaps. Oboda does this masterful bluff over the comms with an Imperial checkpoint captain, pretending he's just some low-level engineering officer dealing with damage.
And Kyle's role.
Kyle's there too, disguised as a warrant officer, backing up Oboda's story, making the whole thing look legitimate enough to get them waved through towards Ruusan.
Smooth. So they get into Jerec's battle group airspace.
They do. And as the high hauler passes through Ruusan's upper atmosphere, Kyle and Jan make their move.
How?
They slip out in the Moldy Crow from the transport's launch bay. It's a covert drop, basically plummeting towards the surface while the larger ship continues on course, hopefully unnoticed.
Stealthy. Where do they land?
Near the ruins of Fort Nowhere. It's devastated. But they pick up this faint, repeating signal.
A distress call.
It seems like it. It leads them to an old, hidden temple where they find survivors. And guess who's among them?
Griff Grawley.
Griff Grawley, along with others who escaped the attack. But they're deeply suspicious of Kyle and Jan, especially this one settler party who's really aggressive.
How do Kyle and Jan win them over? Force persuasion.
Simpler, more direct. Kyle just activates his lightsaber, doesn't threaten, just reveals himself.
Jedi.
Yeah, that visual proof, that symbol, it cuts through the fear and suspicion. Party backs down. They finally start to trust him.
And do they learn anything from the survivors or the planet itself?
Oh, yeah. They encounter Ruusan's native species, these unique beings called bouncers.
Bouncers? What are they like?
They're these spherical, sort of wind-propelled, sentient beings. They communicate through writing, etching things onto surfaces.
Fascinating. Do they know about the valley?
They do. They share this ancient prophecy. They call it the Poem of Ages.
What does it say?
And a night shall come, a battle will be fought, and the prisoners go free. And they directly connect this prophecy to the valley.
A knight? Kyle.
Seems likely. And get this, the bouncers knew Kyle's father, Morgan Katarn.
What? How?
They remember him visiting Ruusan years ago. They called him the knight who never was.
Wow. That must hit Kyle hard. His father was here, involved somehow.
Definitely deepens his personal connection to this whole mission. But the path forward isn't easy. They run into an Imperial patrol attacking the bouncers.
Do they engage?
Jan jumps in bravely to help defend the bouncers, but during the fight, tragedy strikes.
Oh, no. Not Griff.
Yeah. Griff Grawley is killed. Kyle feels it through the Force, this sudden loss, a real blow after everything Griff went through.
Man, that's rough. So Griff's warning ultimately led to his sacrifice.
It did. His death underscores the cost of this fight. But his actions weren't in vain. Guided by one of the bouncers, Floyder, Kyle, and Jan find a hidden route.
Towards the valley.
Directly towards it. An ancient aqueduct, concealed, protected. It's like the planet itself is guiding them now, through sacrifice and prophecy, towards their destiny. It's more than just coordinates on a map.
It feels like a spiritual journey as much as a physical one.
Very much so.
So they're heading to the Valley of the Jedi. Let's circle back to Jerec. What exactly is his ultimate goal there? You said it wasn't just minerals or looting.
Right. He doesn't just want to take something from the valley. He wants to tap into the power within it. To, as the book says, shape it to his will.
What power?
The power emanating from the prisoners mentioned in the prophecy. Jerec believes he can harness this to forge an empire even greater than Palpatine's. It's about controlling this immense, ancient Force energy.
And who are the prisoners?
We'll get to that. But first, Kyle's connection deepens even further. He finds something his father left behind in the valley.
Morgan Katarn was in the valley?
He reached it, yes. But apparently he couldn't achieve whatever his goal was, couldn't free the spirits. Kyle finds his father's multi-tool.
No way.
And it's inscribed, "To Dad," from Kyle. A gift from his childhood.
Oh, man. That's powerful. Talk about personal stakes. It makes it his fight in a way it wasn't before.
Absolutely. It solidifies his resolve. He's not just following orders. He's finishing his father's work, fulfilling a legacy.
Does he get any guidance on how to actually do that?
He does. Crucially, he starts receiving guidance from Ron, the Jedi Master whose death Jerec's group was responsible for earlier.
Ron. But he's dead. A Force ghost.
Essentially, yes. A disembodied Jedi Master guiding Kyle through Force visions. And Ron is the one who finally explains the valley's history and the nature of the prisoners.
Okay, I need to know this. What happened there?
Over 1,000 years ago, a massive battle. The final conflict of the new Sith Wars. Lord Hoth's Army of Light against Lord Kan's Brotherhood of Darkness, right here on Ruusan.
A huge Jedi-Sith battle.
Colossal.
Yeah.
And Khan, desperate, unleashed a terrifying weapon. A thought bomb.
A what?
A thought bomb. Not a physical explosion, but a catastrophic psychic one. A maelstrom in the Force.
What did it do?
It didn't just kill everyone, Jedi and Sith alike. It trapped their spirits. Thousands of them, caught in the valley in this state of, like, perpetual equilibrium, unable to move on.
So they are the prisoners, the spirits of ancient Jedi and Sith.
Exactly. Trapped for a millennium.
Yeah.
And that collective Force energy, that immense psychic reservoir, is the power Jerec wants to control.
Chilling. It connects everything. The prophecy, Jerec's ambition, Kyle's quest. It's all tied to this ancient tragedy. The echoes of the past literally shaping the present.
Perfectly put. And understanding this history throws Kyle into some intense trials, both inside and out.
Like what?
Well, he faces Maw, one of the Dark Jedi who killed his father. The duel is brutal.
Personal vengeance territory.
Very much so.
Hey.
Maw taunts him relentlessly about Morgan's death, trying to push Kyle towards the dark side, towards anger and hate.
Does it work?
Kyle struggles. He wins the duel, but in a burst of violence that genuinely shocks him. He feels the pull of the dark side, the ease of that power. It scares him.
A classic Jedi dilemma.
And then Jerec ups the ante. He captures Jan.
No!
Yep. Jerec, Sariss, and Bozo capture Jan. And Jerec presents Kyle with the ultimate dark side test. He orders Kyle to strike Jan down. Strike her down, he commands.
Just like Vader and Luke with the Emperor. A direct temptation.
Exactly. Pushing him to make that final, irrevocable step into darkness to save himself, supposedly.
What does Kyle do? This seems like the breaking point.
It almost is. But then, something truly unexpected happens.
What?
Yun, one of Jerec's Dark Jedi, the one who participated in Ron's death.
What about him?
He hesitates. He has this moment of profound internal conflict. He remembers Ron, remembers his own actions, and he chooses differently.
He turns against Jerec.
He turns against Sariss, his direct mentor. He intervenes, defending Kyle and Jan, sacrificing his own life in the process.
Wow. Redemption. Even for a Dark Jedi.
It seems so. The book describes him dying with a vision of light. It's a powerful moment, suggesting that the pull towards the light can exist even in the deepest darkness. A flicker of hope.
That's huge. So Yun's sacrifice saves Yun.
It gives Kyle the opening he needs. He then faces Sariss herself.
The one who killed Devo, who manipulated everyone.
That's her. And in this duel, Kyle consciously draws on the Force visions he's been having, using combat techniques he learned from an ancient Jedi Master spirit, Tal, connected to the Valley.
So he's channeling the Valley's history, its light side, to fight its darkness.
Precisely. And he defeats Sariss.
Incredible. Which leaves only one opponent.
Jerec. The final confrontation happens at the absolute heart of the Valley, right where Jerec is actively trying to absorb the power of all those trapped spirits.
The climax. How does Kyle possibly overcome someone tapping into that much power?
He makes a conscious choice. He fully rejects the dark side temptations he felt earlier, the anger, the fear. Instead, he embraces the light side completely.
How does that manifest?
He creates this cocoon of light around Jerec using the Force. It doesn't attack Jerec directly, but it severs his connection.
Cuts him off from the dark side.
And crucially, cuts him off from the power of the trapped spirits he was trying to drain. It isolates him.
Takes away his borrowed power.
Exactly. Stripped of that overwhelming energy, Jerec is suddenly vulnerable. He weakens rapidly.
So Kyle just strikes him down.
Not immediately. There's one last interesting moment. Kyle actually throws Jerec his own lightsaber back to him.
Why? A final test.
Seems like it. A test for Jerec, maybe, or perhaps for Kyle himself, ensuring he's acting out of necessity, not malice. Then he delivers the final, decisive blow. Jerec is dead.
The threat is over. But what about the prophecy? The prisoners?
With Jerec gone and his dark influence broken, the equilibrium holding the spirits is shattered. They are finally free.
What's that like?
The book describes it beautifully. Their joyful singing fills the air as thousands of points of light. The spirits rise up, ride the wind, pour into the sky. They thank Kyle as they depart, finally released after 1,000 years.
Wow, that must have been an incredible sight. Profound.
Truly liberating. The fulfillment of that ancient prophecy.
And Kyle takes a moment to honor those who helped to make it happen.
He does. In a quiet, poignant act, he carves release onto a stone wall in the valley. Images of his father, Morgan Katarn, the knight who never was, and Ron, his spectral mentor.
Cementing their legacy, recognizing their part in this liberation.
Exactly, ensuring they aren't forgotten.
So in the end, the bouncer prophecy came true, word for word.
A night had come, a battle had been fought, and the prisoners were free.
Absolutely.
What a journey. So, wrapping up this deep dive, we've really traced some huge themes here.
Definitely. The echoes of ancient history, the power of prophecy, the immense personal cost of these galactic conflicts.
And that constant tension, that blurry line between the light and dark sides of the Force, the temptation.
Yeah, and ultimately the power of individual choices. Yun's choice, Kyle's choice, how they shape destiny.
You've journeyed with us through, well, sacrifice, incredible cunning, these deep spiritual battles,
Well,
all woven into this one narrative that's so much more complex than just good versus evil.
it really pushes beyond those simple tropes.
So the final question for you, the listener, as we think about all this, what does it really mean for us navigating our own complexities? Where does true power actually lie? Is it in that strength to dominate, like Jerec saw it? Or is it maybe in the courage to understand, to liberate even, to set others free?
Even when that means facing your own inner darkness, right? Confronting those echoes of past mistakes, maybe past traumas, like Griff had to, like Kyle had to.
What does it truly mean to be a knight, a force for good? Perhaps when the path is so often clouded by personal history, by old wounds, by prophecies you didn't ask for.
Lots to think about there. Keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving deep into the stories that shape how we see the universe, whether it's real or imagined.